Hi, my name is David Fleming from Disciples Ignited. We're studying faith in action, and we're looking specifically at Hebrews chapter 11 that commends people throughout the Bible for their great faith. Now, today we want to read Hebrews chapter 11, verse 13. So let's start out by reading that together. All these people were still living by faith when they died. They did not receive the things promised. They only saw them and welcomed them from a distance. Now, this deals with something that is vitally important for us to understand. When God gives you a promise, you expect to see it, don't you? Well, let's look at this a little bit more carefully. When God gives you a promise, that promise oftentimes is just to you. And then you are going to see it because God is faithful. However, many of the promises that God gives are to us collectively. They are God's promise, and you have a part. If He spoke it to you, you have a part to play in its fulfillment, but you aren't the only one. You are believing God for it, and when it is fulfilled, your faith helped bring it to pass. Although you might not be seeing it when it does get fulfilled. In the Old Testament, God promised that He was going to send a Redeemer. That's way back in Genesis. God promised that He was going to send somebody that was going to crush the head of the serpent. Speaking of the Messiah. Yet they didn't see it in their lifetime. In fact, the Messiah did not come for 2,000 years later. But He came. And everyone that read the scriptures and that believed God to fulfill that promise had a part to play in its fulfillment. How? Because they believed it. The Bible says that these people, although they didn't receive the things promised, they saw them. How? With the eyes of their spirit. Their faith gave them the ability to see what God promised. But they not only saw it by faith, but they also welcomed it. So some of the promises that you're holding on to, you may not see them fulfilled. Not in your lifetime, but they will be fulfilled, and you had a part to play in it because your faith, believing God, all played a part in its fulfillment. So may this encourage you today. When God gives a promise to us, sometimes they're given to individuals, but more often than not, they're given to us collectively. And God is going to fulfill them. And we all have a part to play in their fulfillment by believing God, putting our faith in God because He is faithful to fulfill everything that He has promised that He's going to do. So continue to believe God. See those things by faith and welcome them by faith, believing God that He is one day going to fulfill them. Why? Because He's faithful. But there's so much more to learn about faith. So join with me tomorrow and we'll learn some more. See you then.